In the name of God, the compassionate and merciful, Madam President, before delivering my statement, I would like to express Iran's strong objection and serious concerns regarding the biased and one-sided statement delivered by Your Excellency in the capacity of the President of General Assembly, which by departing from the mandate and institutional responsibilities of that office, overlooked the root causes of the situation and made unfounded allegations against the member state. It is a well-established principle grounded in the spirit of the Charter of the United Nations and the rule of procedures of the General Assembly that the holder of this office must exercise a strict impartiality and refrain from adopting positions that could compromise the neutrality and credibility of the General Assembly. Madam President, the vetoes cast by China and Russia were timely, justified, and necessary. During the Council meeting, my delegation made clear that the text was one-sided and ignored the root causes of the crisis, the illegal and savage war of aggression by the United States and Israel against Iran on 28 February. Its adoption would have set a dangerous precedent, eroding the sovereign rights of the coastal states, undermining the UN Charter, and increasing the risk of escalation. Madam President, recent U.S. unlawful actions, including efforts to impose a naval blockade in the Strait of Hormuz, further demonstrate the flawed logic behind the draft. These unlawful measures escalate tensions and threaten both maritime security and international trade. Against this backdrop, I wish to mark the following points. First, the Islamic Republic of Iran, as a responsible state committed to the United Nations Charter and the international law, has consistently upheld freedom of navigation and maritime security in the Persian Gulf, the Strait of Hormuz, and the Gulf of Oman. For decades, Iran has fulfilled its responsibilities in good faith as a coastal state of the Strait of Hormuz, ensuring security and safeguarding freedom of navigation. Iran, in accordance with international law, has implemented necessary and precautionary measures to ensure the safety and security of navigation through the Strait of Hormuz. These measures are designed to facilitate the continuous and safe passage of vessels while preventing the exploitation of this waterway for hostile or military purposes by aggressors and their affiliates. Second, the imposition of the maritime blockade announced by the United States constitutes a grave violation of the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Iran. This unlawful action is a flagrant breach of the prohibition on the threat or use of force enshrined in Article 2 and constitutes a clear act of aggression under international law. By seeking to obstruct maritime traffic and from Iranian ports, the United States unlawfully interferes with the exercise of sovereign rights of the Islamic Republic of Iran and infringes upon the rights of the third states and lawful maritime commerce under international law. The United States must bear full responsibility for this internationality wrongful act for any consequences arising therefrom, including the impact on the regional and international peace and security. The realization of principles of freedom of navigation and maritime safety in the Persian Gulf and the Sea of Oman, particularly in the Strait of Hormuz, which lies within the territorial seas of its coastal states, is only possible through full respect for the sovereignty and sovereign rights of those coastal states. As such, sustainable stability in the Strait of Hormuz and in the region can only be achieved through the cessation of aggression and the full respect for Iran's legitimate right and interest. Third, over the past 40 days of the United States and Israeli regime war of aggression against Iran, the aggressors have crossed every legal, moral, and humanitarian boundary. They have violated international humanitarian law and committed war crimes by deliberately and indiscriminately targeting civilian infrastructure, including residential areas, schools, hospitals, healthcare facilities, airports, sport facilities, and cultural and historical sites. Furthermore, the United States utilized military bases and facilities located in the countries of the Persian Gulf region. Evidence indicates that military movement and operational preparation were underway at these bases for the planning, preparation, equipping, and execution of unlawful military attacks against the Islamic Republic of Iran, despite Iran's prior warning that such unlawful action were being planned. Iran has formally reported this development with supporting documentation to the Security Council and the Secretary General. Fourth, Iran welcomes and supports any diplomatic affairs and credible initiative capable to bringing about the sustainable end to this unlawful and unwarranted war, including all genuine affairs through Pakistan, Turkey, Egypt, and the Kingdom of the Saudi Arabia, as well as affairs by China and Russia. Any viable solution must ensure a definitive and irreversible end to the aggression and establish a just and durable peace grounded in the credible and verifiable guarantee against any recurrence. In this regard, we wish to express our sincere appreciation for the efforts of the government of Pakistan, particularly the Prime Minister and the Chief of the Army Staff, for the constructive mediation and for hosting these important negotiations. Despite our deep mistrust of the United States stemming from its repeated betrayal of diplomacy, we nevertheless entered the negotiation in good faith and remain cautiously optimistic. We believe that should the United States adopt a rational and constructive approach and refrain from advancing demands that are inconsistent with the international law, this negotiation can lead to a meaningful outcome. And finally, we categorically reject an unfounded and politically motivated allegation against my country made in this meeting. These claims lack any legal basis and serve only to divert attention from the realities on the ground, namely the illegal and savage war launched by the United States and Israeli regime against Iran. Some members referred to the Security Council Resolution 2817. Iran's legal position on this resolution have been circulated as a document of the General Assembly and the Security Council. Resolution 2817 disregards the unlawful war of aggression and armed attack by the United States and Israel against Iran, and in ignoring denies Iran inherent rights of self-defense exercised in accordance with Article 51 of the UN Charter. By omitting any reference to the aggressors, the Council fails in its responsibilities to maintain international peace and security, and instead by adopting such a politically motivated resolution risks legitimizing further act of aggression. It should be recalled that under international law, the Security Council is bound to exercise its authority in full conformity with purposes and principles of the Charter of the United Nations. Any departure from these fundamental principles undermines the legal validity and moral authority of this decision. I thank you.